Hello student, today's our topic is pointer and DMA, dynamic memory allocation. Uh, this note is referred to 17/4/2020. I have already uploaded in Google Classroom, and there was a good interaction session in WhatsApp interaction, and I must say that you are doing well through your assignment. Still, for the better idea, I am going through this video lecture session. So we have seen that the limitation of the array is in advance memory allocation at compile time, which results wastage or shortage of memory. That means there is a chances of wastage and shortage of memory always whenever we are going to declaring or using an array, because it is a compile time factor. We don't know what is the exact memory requirement for the program. So it can be visualized with a small example or story, like assume that any one of our class member are going to celebrate today his birthday, and he is inviting all of his friends on his birthday. So including me, our class strength is 64. So he has to book all 64 plates for all the invitees. But if there is any kind of problem or mishap appears such that friends are not able to turn up in his home, then what happened? Or only some of his friends staying at vicinity or in his locality, they able to turn up. Then all the arrangement will be in vain and wastage of food. Now, if he has some magician friend like Guppy Gain and Bagha Pain, and you know that these are the famous characters in our Bengali film created by Mr. Satyajit Roy, and they are in front of the doorsteps. Whenever an invitee is coming, they clap and the food will come in front of them. So in runtime, so there is no risk, risk of wastage or shortage. So this is the benefit of runtime runtime memory allocation. And so we are always prefer this runtime memory allocation. And let's see that in C language, what are the ways how dynamic memory can be allocated in C. DMA can be performed in runtime at the time of execution, what I have mentioned, with exact memory requirement by malloc function and related function like calloc and realloc in C. So explain the utility of malloc. The utility of malloc lies in the utility of DMA. Let's assume a code segment. I am going to explaining with a problem. Printf enter how many integer do you want to take, and from the user we are taking in front of n by scanf function. Now for this n, you need to allocate memory in runtime. Here malloc function will help us, which is under the alloc.each header file. We can write like this: in star, we are going to declare a pointer of integer type. P is a pointer. P equals to int star malloc size of int into n, where n into 2, that means 2n bytes will be allocated dynamically. We know that size of is a special kind of operator. In C language, it always returns a size of a particular variable. So here malloc is the name of the function. It returns generic pointer. Here it is integer type of pointer, and malloc always takes byte size. So now you have flexibility. You can upcast or downcast according to your requirement. Like malloc, actually malloc returns? Malloc returns a base address of 20 bytes long memory space. Here by default integer number can be stored here, but more flexibility added to it, that I've already mentioned, like p equals to cast type pointer malloc size of int into number, int into n. According to the requirement, it can be upcast to float, down class to character. Then we will write something like that: p equals to float star malloc size of int into number, float star malloc 20 we may write, and then p we have to declare a required type. Here the pointer will be float by nature. Similarly, it will be appropriate for character as well. P equals to char star malloc size of int into n, and that will be downcast, and here p required to be declared as character type, so it can be downclasted as well. So now if we continue the code segment, then it will be like that: int star p equals to int star p, that will be initialized by int star malloc size of int into number, n equals to number. Now we will write printf enter %d integers n, that means for each and every integer we are going to take the value. We will reiterate a loop from I equals to 0 to requirement up till the requirement, that is the n, and scanf %d ampersand number. Each and every number will be taken in number type of integer variable, and we use here pointer arithmetic, that is star p plus I equals to n0. that I have already discussed in my previous lecture, how it is pointer arithmetic is effective. Each and every location, with the help of value at address of operator, the number will be taken. Like in this example, p is a contiguous memory allocation starting with base address 0 1 0 0, and first time in form of no we are taking 4, then next time in form of no we are taking 400, and like this. So we can understand that how runtime memory allocation is effective. Assigning at ith position, every time by asterisk p plus I, we are assigning the value in ith position. So malloc allocates total 10 bytes, returns base address p equals to p, that means 0 1 0 0, that I have already mentioned. And now we can perform our requirements like searching, sorting, and other kind of application with this dynamically created allocated space. So my urge is to you that write a C program in C to populate an array at the runtime, the maximum, find the maximum and the minimum value. So similarly, malloc, we have calloc function. Calloc allocates a block of space for an array of elements and initialize them to 0. Like malloc, it also returns a pointer to the memory. Note, a null pointer will be returned if there is not enough space in the system to allocate. So we must check before using it, that has been advised. That means whenever we are going to allocate a block of space, it is advised that always check whether there is available of space or not. घर बनाने से पहले ज़मीन है ना नहीं ये पता रहना चाहिए. Like this, int star p equals to int star malloc 10. We know that this malloc function will return block of memory, and that will be initialized to p. Now if p equals to null, then printf the memory could not be allocated. So if there is no enough space, then malloc function will not able to create a block of memory, and that we have checked here. This is always advised before we are going to deal with this allocated spaces. Now I am going to give an example of calloc. Here integer pointer ar has been declared. Now ar equals to int star calloc n comma size of int. That means n is the number of units, size of int, that means we know that size of int, that means 2 bytes. So now how many numbers of 2 bytes memory will be allocated, that has been passed through this. So calloc function will runtime create an array. If arr equals to null, then you are going to use exit 1. We know there exists the exit is a library function which will terminate the program. It will come bring the control out of the main. So there is no question of further execution. If arr equals to not null, then these things will be executed. Printf %d the value to be stored in the memory n. We are starting with I equals to 0, I less than n, I plus plus, scanf %d ampersand eri. That means we are populating the array, and that array has been generated for 2 bytes and n numbers of units. So like this we can use calloc function to dynamically allocate an array. Now realloc function, it is another very interesting function. Realloc alters the size of primary previously allocated memory. If realloc was able to make the old block of memory bigger, it returns the same pointer. Otherwise if realloc has to go elsewhere to get the enough continuous memory, then it returns a pointer to the new memory after copying old data there. So if there is available space, okay. If it is not, he has to switch another place for the block of memory. So code segment is like that, char ***, that means we are declaring character pointer, and through malloc we are generating a block of memory. Now printf enter your first name. I am scanning the first name here, and now using realloc function we are increasing the size, str char star realloc str comma 20. That means here previously that was 10 bytes, now it is going for the 20 byte. Now I am taking some more things. Printf type modified. Printf type modifies means I am going to increase something. String copy function here, it is used str I am here. That means first name is Abhishek, and it will tell I am here, and I am here is capable to include because we have increased the size with the help of realloc function, and that has been done in the runtime. Now put as str, it will able to print the concatenated or total string, copied string in the console. After using these, this is advisable always free the dynamically allocated memory by free function. Free is a function which is used to deallocate memory dynamically. It is our responsibility to release the space when it is not in use. This is very important when storage space is limited. This is very important when storage space is limited. If we have dynamically allocated, we need to dynamically release the space. So free free will dynamically deallocate the memory and will help us to release the allocated space. Note, this is a good programming practice. Now my advice to you student, write a program to establish the use of DMA, dynamic memory allocation, and use efficient programming practice. Thank you, and follow my next lecture.